Hello everyone and welcome back to my show. My name is Erica and today we're making some clam chowder and some super intense garlic bread. So normally around this time of year, me and my family take a little trip up to the coast to take a little vacation, but I don't know if that's going to happen this time. And one of the things that I really look forward to during our trips is the super amazing clam chowder that they have along the coastlines. So since we're not going to be doing that this year, I wanted to show y'all how I make my clam chowder, and oh my gosh, it is so delicious and so unhealthy for you. It really doesn't take much, just a couple potatoes, some heavy cream or half and half if you want to make it a little bit lighter, a little bit chicken stock, some clams, some clam juice, some white wine, white cooking wine, some garlic, some parsley, some dill, some butter, some bacon. If I already said bacon, more bacon. It takes a few things, but trust me, it is so good and you will want to eat the whole pot in one sitting. And another thing that we really look forward to with our clam chowder is the really good sourdough bowls that the North Coast is really famous for. So I saw a video on Facebook or on YouTube or somewhere on the interwebs, and it showed a company putting sourdough inside of eggs and parsley mixture and Parmesan and garlic, and then I think they pan fried it or something like that. I'm gonna try that out to have with my clam chowder because that sounds amazing. So we're gonna be doing that with our clam chowder as well, so stay tuned for that. So first what you want to do is take half of a yellow onion and we're going to dice that all up. And it doesn't have to be small dices, it could just be medium dices. And we're going to put it in a separate bowl. And we're going to take 2 russet potatoes and we're going to dice that all up. It could be like small little cubes, like an inch-ish, somewhere around there. So I already washed off my potatoes, so just going to go at it. And it really doesn't have to be anything even. We're making a soup here, even more so we're making a chowder. And yeah, you're going to eat it just as long as it cooks. You're going to be just fine. And I'm just setting it in another separate bowl here. And you can peel your potatoes or you can leave your skin on. I personally like the potato skin. I know a lot of people will disagree with me on this, but I like leaving the skins on for this. So our local grocery store has a little meat counter that has just really thick slices of bacon that you can get. And so I love getting those. I got specifically the peppercorn bacon slices and they're just so delicious. Now, you don't have to do that. You can get a package of bacon. You can get one of those packages and use like about 4 or 5 slices depending on how much bacon you want in your thing. I have 3 nice and thick slices of peppercorn bacon that I'm using, and I'm just going to give this a rough chop. Just getting them into little cube things. That's a pile of goodness right there. Alright, so now that you have everything diced and all prepared and mise en place and all that, so I have all my stuff ready to go here. I'm actually organized this time with so many ingredients. Wow, this is crazy. We're going to take our bacon and we're going to put it inside of a large sauce pot. And we're going to turn that on to a medium-high and crisp those bacon pieces up. We're going to get all that nice juicy fat and added into our chowder, and it's going to be so very delicious. The sound of that bacon is delicious. No fear, Erica, no fear. Cook the bacon. Pain is only temporary. I did turn my heat down to a, I don't know what you call that, a high-low, low-high, a low-medium, probably more like it. I turned my heat down to a low-medium because it was cooking too quickly and popping everywhere. And we do want to make sure that we have some of that fat and grease left. So if you cook it too high, it's going to burn off all that nice grease. So I turned it down to a medium-low. Alright, so now that our bacon is nice and crispy and we got all that yummy grease juice yumminess, we're going to set our bacon aside onto a plate with a paper towel so that a little bit of the grease seeps out. And we're going to save about a tablespoon of this here bacon grease. The rest you can do whatever the heck you want with. Make a milkshake if you want. I am saying to make a milkshake out of experience. So to our bacon grease, this is about a tablespoon that I've saved, and there's some peppercorn still left in there if you're wondering what the specks are. I'm going to add about, this looks like about 1.5 to 2 tablespoons of butter in there. I had it all left over, may as well use the rest of it. And on a medium-low, I'm going to melt this butter inside of the bacon grease. I'm so sorry to everyone's arteries who is going to make this. And while that is melting down, I'm going to put about a teaspoon of dried dill. And normally, with a lot of recipes, everybody likes making you buy fresh parsley. But I don't know about you, but they come in huge bundles that I never use all of it. And I'm always so sad that I have so much left over because all I needed was like this much. So I always just go with dried. I'm putting some of my parsley inside of my butter and bacon grease, and it is too high, so it's popping, and I'm turning it down. I'm going to add my onions up inside there, and about a heaping teaspoon of minced garlic. I'm going to say 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. And we're just going to cook this up on a medium-low until the onions are nice and translucent, or almost see-through, or not hard and oniony any longer. Our onions are almost there. So my pot's still on the medium-low, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour in there. And once you add it in there, you're going to have to be quick like a bunny with your stirring because it'll burn if you wait too long. And we're just going to stir that flour right up in there. So the flour is going to act as our thickener for this. So we don't want it in there too long. We just want to make sure we cook out a lot of that like floury taste. I'm going to add 16 ounces of half and half into there. And you want to make sure that you're stirring constantly and getting that flour incorporated in there.
1 cup of chicken broth using 2 bouillon cubes.
Now I'm going to add our pre-diced potato. Very gently so it doesn't splush all over the place and make a big old mess. I'm going to add 3 nice bay leaves. About a teaspoon of salt. And a few cracks of black pepper. And we're going to add a few tablespoons or like a 1/4 cup of this white cooking wine. Now you can use any kind of dry wine for this. This was cheap and I like using it. So just a little bit of white cooking wine in there. And we're just going to let this all boil together until those potatoes get nice and soft. And I'm gonna wait on adding my clams and clam juice just so all that flavor isn't lost, because it's gonna take a hot second for these potatoes to boil. Alright, so I moved my chowder to another burner and I have it going on the medium-low. I put a lid on top so that it boils quicker and cooks those potatoes. And I'm just stirring occasionally, just so it doesn't like burn on the bottom or nothing like that. And while that's going, I'm going to make my garlic bread. So I have a little Pyrex dish over here. If you have anything else with a large surface, you can use that. I'm gonna put 2 large eggs in there, about a teaspoon of garlic, some more of my dried parsley flakes, that's about a teaspoon, and a couple tablespoons of Parmesan cheese, grated Parmesan cheese, maybe like a quarter of a cup. And we're just gonna mix that all together. And preheat our skillet to medium. To intensify the garlic, I think I'm going to put some garlic powder in there. About a half teaspoon of that. Or quarter teaspoon, I want to say. Give our chowder a little stir. You can do butter on here, but I think I'm going to do some olive oil for my oil. I got some thinly sliced sourdough bread that I'm going to dunk inside of my egg mixture and then put it on my skillet, and we'll see how it goes. So that made about 3 large slices of sourdough, so I think that's going to be about good.
And I'm just gonna brown those on both sides and then set them aside and finish up with our chowder.
Once your potatoes have cooked, we're going to add our clams. Now I have 2, how much is this? 6.5 ounce cans of chopped clams. And I'm going to add the whole thing in there, juice and everything. Juice and all. 1 8-ounce jar of clam juice to make it even more clammy. And I didn't forget about my bacon. Add that right in there. I always like my things a little bit spicy, so I'm gonna add a little bit of crushed red pepper into there. If you don't want that, that's okay. I won't judge you. You do you. But I'm gonna add some crushed red pepper. Just a few shakes in there. We're just gonna mix that in and let it cook for a little while longer, just until the sauce thickens back up again. Then we're gonna give a little taste test, see if it needs any more salt or anything, but it's just about done. So, my phone decided to do a poo-poo brain moment and corrupt my wrap-up video. So that's why I'm not eating right now. I already ate and recorded all that, but now the food is gone and I am here. It was very good. The clam chowder was so good. It had so many different layers to it. The addition of the spicy actually really added another kind of level to it, added a real nice kick. The bacon was coming through. I mean, I probably could have added a little bit more white cooking wine if you really like that flavor, but it did have like a nice body. It added a nice body to it. The bread was by itself. I probably wouldn't eat it by itself. It was a little bit dry, to be honest. but with the soup, with the chowder, it was fantastic. It held its shape really nicely, and it absorbed all of that chowdery goodness. All in all, it was a good chowder. It was a yummy chowder. I really enjoyed it. If you could have seen the video that I recorded earlier, you would have seen me really enjoying it. Yeah, so that's what happened. That's why I'm not eating for this wrap-up. But if you liked my videos and liked seeing me make the chowder, leave a little bit of a like for me. And if you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And then possibly leave a comment down below. And I thank you all for joining me again, and I'll see you all next time on Erica's Small Kitchen. Bye!